So if we will try to recall, anyone can answer this one. Can you try to recall all the stories I gave you since lesson 1? Anyone?
Sir,
Go.
ballpen scenario po, yung milk tea tsaka si Mangwan.
So that's nice. If you try to recall those, thank you so much, Cass. If you try to recall those, that means, diba, I tried to apply those terminologies, the things that we studied on the basic economic, um, and even yung circular flow model through those stories, okay? Because I want you to take it literally. It's called applied economics. So we really need to literally apply what we are learning in economics. Okay? So let's talk about applied economics. Applied economics is actually a term believed to have started 200 years ago in the writings of two economists, okay? Jean-Baptiste Say and John Stuart Mill. These two people are actually economists. They're two of the classical economists in the world who contributed so much in the field of economics, okay? And then applied economics applies, sabi niya, conclusions drawn from economic theories and empirical studies to real-world situations, and which actually we did during the lesson 1 and lesson 2. Economic theories like the theory of choice. Remember, lesson 1 is we talk about the ballpen scenario, and you tried to apply the theory of choice actually on how people uh, try to balance and do marginal thinking between a marginal cost and marginal benefits. Diba? In-apply natin. And then I even asked you to do the business, and that is something to do with empirical studies. Okay? When we talk about empirical studies, these are a real what do you call this, observations that you see, okay, just like the the business scenario I gave you, and that is a form of empirical situation, and you try to apply it to the real world, what is happening in the real world. Okay, well, with the desired aim of informing economic decisions, and which you did on all of those scenarios I gave you, you tried to make economic decisions and predicting possible outcomes. Remember economic decisions kung paano nag-decide yung sa ballpen scenario? And then kung paano mo ipe-predict ang pwedeng mangyari dun sa business scenario. And that is applied economics. Okay? Let's go on. The purpose of applied economics is to improve the quality of practice in business. So obviously, that's why I'm giving you different business scenarios and more to come, okay? Because you are really going to apply these things that you are learning in business. Not only that, in public policy as well, meron din akong mga ibibigay na mga public policies that you will try to reflect on, and you will give your insights about it. And obviously, and daily life, okay? By thinking rigorously about cost and benefits. This is the marginal thinking that I was talking about. And of course, incentives. Remember, people will never make decisions that won't benefit them. Masyado bang negative? Sige, positive natin. People will always make a choice, will always make a decision wherein it will always benefit that person. That's how in economics we assume, okay? And because it's a social science, it's a human behavior. Okay? Applied economics can involve the use of case studies and econometrics. Ayan, papasok si econometrics. What is econometrics? We're going to talk about econometrics in a while, okay? Which is the application of real-world data to statistical models and comparing the results against the theories of being tested. Okay, let's try to deepen applied economics. Sabi nga, application of economic theory. Circular flow model is a form of theory in a model. Okay, and we tried to apply it on a very simplified way by using the story of Mang Wan, right? Okay, to determine the likely outcomes associated with various possible courses of action in the real world. By better understanding the likely consequences of choices made by individuals, which have been shown to you during the ballpen scenario. Pag ba ginawa ko to, anong mangyayari? Pag ito ba ang pinili ko, ano ang pwedeng mangyari? We keep on thinking that way because in economics, we assume that people have to look at not only the cost but the consequences of choices. Okay, we can help them make better choices through applied economics. If economics is the science of studying how people use various limited means available to them to achieve given ends, then applied economics is the tool to help choose the best means to reach those ends. Yung next meeting natin, we're going to talk about the production possibilities frontier. And it's a good economic theory as well for you to think not only as individual, not only as business firm, but not only as household, but as an individual who can actually try to see things on how to make decisions with limited resources. Okay? As a result, applied economics can lead to do list for steps that can be taken to increase the probability of positive outcomes in real-world events. Because you are studying, you are on the strand of ABM, and that is something to do with business. So most of the scenarios I'll be giving you are business-related situations. Okay? The use of applied economics may first involve exploring economic theories to develop questions about circumstance or situation and then draw upon data resources and other frames of reference to form a plausible answer to that ongoing circumstances. So it really means that economics, in applied economics, economic theories and models are being applied literally to different situations. Okay? Let's go to the relevance. What is the relevance of applied economics in the real world? Okay? Kung titingnan nyo, actually nasabi na lahat dun sa meaning pa lang. Pero let's try to identify them one by one. Okay? Applied economics can illustrate potential outcomes, okay, of financial choices made by individuals. Financial choices. Excuse me. For example, if consumer desires to own a luxury good, like ano ba yung pinakamahal na cellphone yun? Ano bang latest na cellphone? Or for example, ayun, Samsung Note, Galaxy Note 20 na ba? Alam ko 20 na, right? Oh, yan. A
Yes
luxury
po.
good yun. Thank you, but has limited financial resources. An assessment of the cost and long-term impact, such as purchase, would have an assets can compare them to the expected benefit of the good. Diba? This can help determine if such an expense is worthwhile. worth it bang bilhin ko ang isang Galaxy Note 20 na nagkakahalaga ng $2,000? Magkano yun? Nasa 100,000 na ba siya? Diba?
Apo,
Imagine,
sir.
is it worth it to buy 100,000 pesos of a cell phone? Is it an expense worthwhile? Pero masyadong ano yun, no? Masyadong bigger scenario. So balik lang natin sa ballpen scenario. Dun sa situation na 100 pesos na yung ballpen, bibilhin mo ba? Is it worthwhile to buy that 100 peso ballpen? Well, kung titignan mo kung saan niya talaga gagamitin at kung ikakabagsak niya talaga na hindi siya papasa at hindi siya mag-graduate, then I guess what is 100 pesos in comparing it to the consequence, right? So that's how applied economics can actually let you see potential outcomes. Okay? Applied economics can also help businesses make better decisions, not just the individual seeing financial choices, but also the businesses. One good example is the study of the law of supply and demand. I know you are very much aware about the law of supply and demand dahil pinag-aralan nyo yan. Batas ng supply at ng demand nung grade 9 kayo. Okay? Pero we're going to tackle that after siguro next week. Maglo-law of supply and demand na tayo. Kasi if we try to understand the law of supply and demand and its implication, economic implication, makikita through here kasi yung mga sales, okay? Different productions decisions, tapos magiging aware sa target market, sa leading indicators, okay? So the problems that may arise because of those demand and supply related activities, okay? So malaking tulong nito. Though it's a very simple law, pero malaking tulong yan pagdating sa business. And the last one, applied economics is an invaluable tool for public policy makers. In the macro and microeconomic consequences or situations of various policy proposals or to evaluate the effects of ongoing policy. Yung sinasabi ko sa inyo that I'll be giving you certain policies that may affect businesses or entrepreneurs, and then you will try to what I call this analyze and give your insights about it. For example, di ba nakikita natin sa mga online selling, how much po yung ganito, kasi lalagay nila PM SEM. May policy ba regarding the PM SEM? Diba? Okay lang ba na ganun ang isasagot? Okay lang ba na walang presyo ang naka-display online? Diba? There are policies about those. The question is, meron bang na-violate na policy dun sa PM SEM? Diba? Those are questions. And in applied economics, it will be a good tool in making those public policies. Okay? So to continue, this time let's talk about econometrics. What is econometrics? Econometrics is the application of statistical and mathematical theories to economics for the purpose of testing hypotheses and forecasting future trends. Madalas na ginagamit ang econometrics, ayan, from the word itself, economics and metrics. So it really has something to do with measurements and numbers and digits. What else? Econometrics is the quantitative application of statistical and mathematical models using data to develop theories or test existing hypotheses in economics and to forecast future trends from historical data. Pinaka-sample lang siguro, pinakamadaling econometrics na maituturo ko ay ang GNP, GDP, and even the law of supply and demand. Meron yung quantitative, may formula na kailangan nating pag-aralan, and then we will try to compute. Pero madaling-madali lang. It's a simple addition, subtraction, multiplication, and even division lang yun. Pero may formula din naman. Okay? So that is econometrics. Nagagamitin talaga as we go through with different, pero hindi naman yung super complex na, but rather simple computation lang ang gagawin natin. Okay? If we try to add theories and applied science, then it becomes econometrics. Okay? Ang pinaka-example daw dito in real-life application of econometrics would be the study of hypothesis that as a person's income increase, nag-i-increase din daw ang kanyang spending. May mga ganyang studies. Tapos, i-collect ang survey, magsa-survey, and then magko-collect ng answers, and then mag-a-analyze, and then, ayun, ipapatunayan kung kapag ba nag-increase ang income ng tao, kumbaga, i-apply natin sa inyo. Kapag nag-increase ba ang allowance nyo, mag-i-increase din ang spending nyo. Diba? That is an example of applying econometrics. Okay? Ito, napag-aralan na natin during lesson 2, that the fundamental problem in economics, or of the society rather, is actually scarcity. And we all know that scarcity goes hand in hand with choices. Because of scarcity, we are forced to make a choice. And part of this scarcity issue or scarcity problem, there are things boils down to one thing, which is a scarcity. Laging ang root cause ng lahat ng economic and social problems in a society, it's actually scarcity. Imagine unemployment because there's a scarcity of jobs, of different available employment. Diba? That's why there is unemployment. Poverty because of what do you call this, may kakulangan, may kakapusan ng mga pangangailangan ng tao, 'di ba? Poverty arises, inflation, and even economic growth, which is the slow growth. That is just because of scarcity, because things are not enough, kaya nagkakaroon ng problema. Akala natin it is just a problem of scarcity because of the needs and wants are not being satisfied. Well, because those are not being satisfied, social problems such as poverty arises. Economic problems such as inflation and slow economic growth, nangyayari ang mga yan because of scarcity. Now, there are 3 economic problems, economic questions rather. These are the basic questions of economics. The first one is what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. Talking about this, what to produce, parang given limited resources of different resources like the land, labor, capital, okay? We have to decide what to produce. Well, most primitive economists concentrate on producing food and shelter, the basic necessities of life. However, with increased productivity, the economy has more available resources which can be used for non-necessary goods, such as leisure and education. If we will try to recall the different, what do you call this? The different economic situations, may mag-a-arise na market forces. For example, if we go back to the business firm and household, 'di ba? Kung gagawin lang nating napakasimple, ang titignan nyo, ang nakita ni Mang Juan, hindi ba, dun sa situation niya, ang nakita lang niya, what to produce. 'Di ba? Tumingin-tingin siya, nakita niya may kulang, walang business ng tinapay. So, Mang Juan realized that what to produce is bread. 'Di ba? Next, how to produce. The system must select proper combination of economic resources in producing the right amount of output. Kumbaga, how to produce. Diyan din pumapasok yung growth of technology. Kumbaga, kung farmer ka, how are you going to produce your crops? Mag-aararo ka pa rin ba using kalabaw? Or gagamit ka na ng technology? Yung tractor na ba talaga ang gagamitin mo? Yung engine na ba ang gagamitin mo? 'Di ba? Kung baker ka sa bahay, magma-manual ka pa ring nagbibit ng egg or gagamit ka na ng electric beater? Diba? How to produce. Usually dito pumapasok ang application of technology. And from whom or from shall the goods and services be produced? Para kanino? Yan ang tanong eh. Para kanino? Once the goods are produced, how should they be distributed as well? For whom to produce? In a free goods are provided to those with the ability to pay. Yan ang pinaka-basic eh, di ba? Pero syempre, we still need to consider who is your target market? Para sa estudyante ba? Para sa mga matatanda ba? Para sa mga babae ba? Para sa mga lalaki ba? Or is it for everyone? From whom shall the goods and services be produced? Those are the basic economic questions to easily answer or resolve the basic economic or the fundamental problem in economics, which is scarcity. Do you have any questions? Kung wala
Not po,
na,
sir.
let's try to analyze this one. Try to answer this one on your level lang ha, as a student ha. Don't try to be political or what, okay? Sa level nyo lang as a student, what can you suggest to resolve this unemployment? Diba? Isa sa pinakamalaking problema ng Pilipinas is unemployment. Kayo, based on what you see in the society, in the news, sa paligid, how can you resolve unemployment? What can you suggest? What solutions can you suggest? Anyone can answer? Iba naman, maliban dun sa mga iba. Iba naman. I want to hear other names or voices. Ay, tapos ka na, Cass. Iba naman. Adrian?
Sir,
Go.
yung ano po, sir, yung entrepreneurship.
Sige,
Kung
go.
matatagdagan po yung mga entrepreneurs, tapos mag-create sila ng mga business, and then mag-hire po sila ng mga other na unemployed na people, mababawasan po.
Nice. That's a very simple way. That's very nice, okay? Kailangan ma-push ng gusto ang mga entrepreneurs para mag-create pa sila ng more businesses because more businesses means more labors. So, more jobs. That's good. Thank you. How about the others?
Sir,
Go.
alisin po yung endo.
Alisin ng endo. What do you mean? Can you explain further?
Alisin yung endo para wala nang mawawalan ng trabaho. Kasi pag nag-exist pa din yung endo, daming nawawalan ng trabaho. Nag-end hunt.
Thank you so much, Adrian. Siguro, thank you so much. Who's that? Si
Sir.
Fidel yun. Fidel, thank you. Yutaro, may gusto kang sabihin?
Yun po, sir, tanggalin po yung pong work na mayroon pong limit. Parang pong 6 months, parang ganun po yung pong 1 year.
Okay. Actually, yun yung sinabi din ni Fidel. That is what we call the end of
That's endo.
Oo, that is endo. Thank you, Yutaro. Thank you,
Thank you po.
Fidel. Actually, inapprove na yan. I mean, pinaalis na currently ng president natin yan, ng endo. Kaya nga nagtataka ako, bakit meron pa rin na-endo? Ang alam ko, bawal na ang mga contract workers, lalo na yung mga 5 months, 6 months na yan. Ang hindi ko alam, bakit nakakalusot, no? Kasi dapat wala naman talagang end of contract. Nag-start ang endo during the time of Cory Aquino. Doon nag-start magkaroon ng contract workers. Tapos sumunod na mga presidents, hindi nila naalis. Tapos ngayon nagkaroon na ng as in pinaalis na ng presidente natin. Pero still meron pa rin akong nakikita ng mga na-endo. Kasi meron akong mga previous students na nagkukwento sa akin na before this pandemic, before the lockdown, as in nga endo sila, which is bawal. No? Sana maging yung batas natin, maging makatotohanan at magkaroon ng ngipin na ituloy. Kung hindi siguro talaga, you know what? Maganda ang batas ng Pilipinas kung susundin lang at kung ipapatupad lang ng maayos. Ayun. So, thank you for those wonderful suggestions. At least you've been trying to give. That's one way, di ba? What you have learned, trying to apply it in the real life situation, that is applied economics. Naibigay ko ba yung last activity sa circular flow model? Yung part.
Yes po, sir.
Okay.
Yes po, sir.
Para mapahinga kayo, wala tayong activity wala akong ibibigay na activity today. Okay?
Thank you po, sir.
Mag-a-add ako ng
Thank
activity.
you po.
Thank you po.
Okay?
Thank you po,
So,
sir.
kung wala
Thank you
na
po.
kayong questions, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the day. Once again, my name is Sir Mish. I will always be at your service. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye, Sams. Bye-bye. Mwah.
Thank you po, sir.
Thank you po, sir.
Thank you
Bye,
po.
sir. Thank you po.
Thank you po, sir.
Thank you po.
Thank you po, sir.